Hi, everybody. My name is Nathan, and I am the developer of the Scan Studio Pro multi format film scanner. It will scan 8 millimeter Super 8, 16 millimeter, and 4 perforation 35 millimeter movie film. This is a tutorial on how to use the Scan Studio capturing software in real world scanning environments. Once it's installed, and I will do a separate video for that. It's pretty straightforward, but I'll still make a video for that. But once you have it installed, just open it up, and you're gonna get a little pop up. Just click yes, and here we go. Now this is your main screen right here. So you can see right under scan right here, and this view. This is for later after we do our, when we're ready to render down, our scanned footage. So right now we're on scan. This is your preview window that shows you, what it looks like while scanning. Over here, this is where you have all of your save files. So right up here, your default path. This is where you can create, a folder that everything will scan to just that folder, and these will be your subfolders. So right now I have it on my D drive, and you always want to make sure that you never capture to your main operating system drive. You always want to have a separate hard drive that you're going to scan to. Um, Either an SSD or a really fast mechanical hard drive. Um, it's a lot of information. These are all TIFF images, so they're pretty large. You never want to use, say, like an external, like USB drive. I think it would just probably get overloaded with data. You'd probably have some dropped frames and all that kind of stuff. So you want to use a internal SSD or a really fast mechanical hard drive. But then to make a new album, simply click on new album, and this one we're just going to call it Test Film 3, and then hit create. And there it is, Test Film 3. And right over here, we have 3 options. We can delete the whole folder. We can edit, and this will just change the name of the folder. And then we have open. And as you can see, we're in our D drive and the test albums and Test Film 3. So this is where all of our images are going to go. And over here, this right now, film type and resolution, right now, this is here for future development. Right now, the Scan Studio scanning software, it's automatically set up to capture at full resolution 4K, 4096 by 3000 pixels. This will, if the demand is there, we'll be able to I'll be able to implement something for a lower rate like 1080 2K, but right now it is just automatically set at 2K, or I'm sorry, 4K. And over here, this is going to show your frame rate, and it's roughly around 20 frames a second. It's approximate. And this will show your dimension, and it'll show 4096 by 3000. And then over here, we have, if we have negative or positive film or black and white. Now we have some sliders right over here for our red, green, and blue. By default, they're set to 1.9, and you can adjust those, during your preview here before you capture. You have your gain, your gamma, and your black level. And now, right down here, this is your preview and start recording. So the first thing you want to do is connect, and the software is going to connect to the camera, and boom, there it is. And right now, this the gain, the first time you open will be set at, I believe, 20, somewhere in there. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it will. Depending on what your last setting was, it will reopen to that. the same with your gamma and black level, but gamma is usually that's at 0.5, and your black level is automatically starts off at 1. So now we can hit preview, and now this is where we can turn on the scanner, and this will just show us a preview without any type of capturing. So this is so you can adjust your focus. If you want to do a full frame scan or an overscan to show the perforations. I'm going to show you both a full frame and a overscan with the perforations. The first one will have perforations. So now that it is on, we can simply turn it on. And right now it's set up pretty good. So this is what it looks like. And since we have that just where we want it, I'm not going to rewind just for the sake of, just showing you, but we'll just start our capture right here. So now we can simply hit start recording, hit play on the scanner, and now we can let this scan for a little while. I'll maybe do 1,000 frames or so just to kind of show you. Now this film is it's in fairly rough shape. The color and everything still looks pretty good. It's suffering from very bad vinegar syndrome. It's a little shrunk. It is warped also. When I got the film, it was also a little moldy, but it's been cleaned, and this kind of goes to show you, you're going to get a little bit of deviation, mainly vertical, which is okay. That's why there is stabilization built into this software. And yep, see right here. See right now it's 21 frames a second. Now that might be a little bit over. It's probably doing a little bit less. That's just an approximate. And right here is our image dimensions. There it is, our width 4096, height by 3000. So now I'm going to let this scan for just a little bit, and then I will come back and I'll show you the next steps. Okay, for this demonstration, that should be plenty. So now we're just going to hit stop. And now it stopped the recording. And also, I forgot to mention at first, when you do select, see how these kind of change color? And with the one that's selected, that will be, see how it's dark gray now? Dark gray. That will be the one that you are doing all of your image capture to, that folder. So, just keep that in mind, when you're scanning film, that you highlight this one, and that will be the folder that it will be, all your images will be going into. And now I can open up right here, and here's all of our images. What did I capture here? Oh, I did a little more, about 2,258 frames. So now we can go to view. And now here we have our view screen. And this still stays the same on the right side. Now over here, this is where we can adjust our frames per second. So this is silent 16, so 18. And now you can hit play and you can get a preview of it. And this is where, if you need to adjust this a little more, you can highlight, type in, or slide it. The slider is pretty sensitive. So we can stop it. And now we can go to stabilize. And this is the cool feature of the software. There is a way, there is an option to enable crop, but we're not going to do that quite yet. So here are these are your two options. You have for perforation, like we're going to do here, and there's also an adaptive crop feature, which is if we do a full frame, without the perforation holes. So for this demonstration on this film, we're going to do perforation basic. And by default, it's automatically set to 215 for the brightness, and your max offset is automatically set to 100 pixels. And over here, there's a little, question, that gives you the information about each one of those and what they do. And now we want to, right here, select our film type. So we have a drop down. This is 16 millimeter 4-hole perforation film. Click on that, and now we want to select detection regions. So this is your top left, top right, CTR, TL, BL, BR, bottom right. So now we want to take these and we just want to go over with a little bit of a little bit of room right around the perforation holes, about just like that. And this one we can adjust just like that. This one we can bring over here. And I can get the sides and the side and the top just about like that. Bring it down some, bring it all the way over. That looks good. And this one as well. Just like that. So now we are ready to render it down. And this is where you have your 3 different save options. You can do an AVI, MP4, or MOV. So we're just going to do an MP4. And again, make sure, this one's still on test film 3 as it is. And now click save. And now this is going to take a couple minutes. It's going to go through and analyze each frame, and then it adjusts for, drift and that sort of stuff. And then it saves each frame back stabilized and into an MP4. So I will be back in a moment as soon as this completes. Okay, now it's finishing up rendering the movie, writing the frames. And in just a second here, it'll all be completed. And we're going to get a pop-up the minute it's done. Boom. There we go. Stabilization complete. Video stabilized successfully. It tells you which folder it's in and the time it took, 430 seconds. So click OK. And then now we can open right here. And now we have an output folder. And that contains our video. It's automatically marked video stabilized, and then, a generic, file name, and then you can change that. But let's go ahead and see what it looks like. Yep, looks good. Everything is nicely stabilized, as you can see. And now from this, this is where you could go into any program you have for, your color correction, if there's something else you want to use for cropping. That kind of stuff will work there. And now I'm going to show you the enable crop feature along with this stabilization with the perforations. So we can just hit enable crop, and here's the size that it will give us right here. So we can go a little over right to the perforation holes right in there and there. Come down just a little bit, and that looks pretty good. So now we can save this again as an MP4. And as soon as this is finished, I will be right back. Okay, now this one is finishing out with the crop. In just another second, we're going to see another pop-up telling us it's successfully completed. And now we can open up our folder, and in the output one, here's the new one right next to it. And this one is cropped and looks really good. And now you can put it in whatever software you want for your color correction, or whatever you want to do with it after that. Now the next one I'm going to show you is the adaptive crop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rescan this film full frame, and then I will come back to this screen again and show you the adaptive crop, which is feature based. And stay tuned. I will be back in a moment. Okay, now I have scanned some some images here that are full frame. Me, because this is um, uh, a cropping image stabilization. I like to keep a little bit around my edges just for the crop. So, you can go all the way completely full frame, but, you could turn the crop down, to have a little less too. But, me personally, that's what I like to do. So now when we go to stabilize our drop down menu, adaptive crop, and now the crop and zoom is automatically set to 5%. You can bring it all the way down to 2. This is as low as it'll go, but right now we're going to do 5. And the stabilization strength is automatically set at 50, which works pretty well. You can play around with it, depending on, what condition your film was in, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, as before, we go up here and we will set that to 18 frames and, your preview right here. And, yeah, now we will save as an MP4, and it's going to show your crop at 5%, which is about 150 pixels, and the smoothing radius also it will show you there. And now it's just analyzing motion with optical flow, and then it'll go through and it'll adjust each frame for drift and that sort of thing, and then it will compile it all into our MP4. So as soon as this is completed, I'll be back and I will show you what we have. Okay, now we have video stabilized successfully. And now we can open it. And there we go. Nice stabilized video with the crop edges. And yep, and that's pretty much how this works. A few things that I also want to quickly go over is, as far as the frames per second, that's not really going to show up on your preview window. I am working on that right now to fix that, but right now this pretty much only works in your, in the rendering mode. That's one thing that is being addressed right now. Also, um, as more people use this software, I'm always, looking for, like improvements that people would like to see. I'm going to keep updating this software with new features and tools. That's and it'll and if you're if you own a Scan Studio Pro, you'll get all of the updates absolutely free as soon as they come out. And another thing also is, say on something like this, see how we have the full perforation holes. Now it's always going to, as far as the stabilization goes on your perforation, um, your very first frame, that's going to be the one that, it's going to go off of. So, your first frame will always be opened up on here. So say there's, like leader, running through that kind of stuff. Maybe the first couple frames are really damaged, and you can't really use them. You can just simply, delete those. Like say it's the first couple frames that are really bad. You're going to want to, delete those frames. And then go back to it, and then then you have your good frame, your good first start frame to work from. So yeah, I guess other than that, and also real quick, there's also an enhanced contrast and a verification overlay. It'll the verification overlay will add an overlay showing detected perforations on the output frames. That's only if you really want to see um, how much is actually going, as far as drift and that sort of thing. The enhanced contrast that I forgot to mention, that is if you have a kind of a sort of a blown out sort of film that is like highly overexposed, something like that, it will enhance the contrast so the software can better detect just the perforation hole compared to the whole rest of the image. I don't know how much, you may not use that at all, but I thought it'd be a good thing to add. Um, but yeah, other than that, you know, uh, that's how this software works in a scanning environment. So if you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to go to the website, motionscansystems.com. That has a whole bunch of frequently asked questions, troubleshooting, that kind of stuff. That is very helpful, and that's always being added to also. Or else you can send me an email through the website, or you can call me direct from the phone number listed on the site. And I'm always here, and I will continue to keep upgrading the software and keep adding new features. So other than that, I guess that's the end of this video. The next one coming out is going to be on how to use the actual Scan Studio Pro itself. So stay tuned for that, and thank you, and have a wonderful day.